Hi everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler. We are going to get into this right away and talk about, this was a sure touchdown against Dallas. 2nd and 10 at the Dallas Cowboys 16, fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So they're at the 16-yard line. Rodgers does a hard count, gets this guy to jump a little bit.
I really believe he thought that he got a free play.
Yeah, and I think he was offside.
Yeah, he
but
was.
It didn't get called.
It didn't get called.
So regardless of that, this play should have been a touchdown. And I'll just do the outside routes to show people what's going on here. Jordy Nelson just kind of cleared out. Cleared out. Rodgers cleared out. Montgomery came here and here to try to draw this safety out.
Right.
And you can handle this because this is really where everything happened here.
Now, if you're Aaron with the back to this side, so the defensive, offensive left, defensive right, that's the strong side. So he's going to have what he wants. But if he doesn't have his outlet is right here, Montgomery, who he was open too. But this is what we call a shot play. We're going to just take a shot, okay? So I think for the most part, in Aaron's progression, once he comes back and sets up, he wants to look this safety off.
Let's look at
this one off.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go back
Let's
to
look
the
at the first one. So you can see that safety deep, a little bit off to the left.
Yeah, you see both safeties right in the, on the left, both sides of the boat goalpost.
Yeah, Church is going to come up a little bit. But,
yes.
So, and then you've got the two linebackers, and there you see Janice in the slot and Montgomery. Okay.
Yeah, so if you're Janice, you just got to clear out and make sure you occupy the safety. If you don't occupy the safety, expect the ball.
Okay, right.
So when Rodgers come back in this, gets set. Now, Cobb runs a really nice route. He takes that like an outside release, and when he get up the field, he breaks it real thin right here. But then the defensive back, Tom, for the Cowboys, he stays square the whole time.
His eyes, he's playing like he's
playing like a zone.
Right.
So that would make Cobb go around him.
Right, and
then Janice clear out.
Right here, right? And he draws this guy.
And he drew over 50. So there's your lane. So now Aaron looked like he wanted to throw it earlier, but for some reason he hesitated, and he just did all arms. He airmailed it.
Let's look at the second one now.
Go to the second one.
So there you see him setting up, and you're talking about the arm. Now there you see Montgomery at the bottom, wide open if he wants
wide open.
But this is not a bad decision to go to Cobb.
No, he's open. It's open. You just got to make a throw.
And you see the protection's pretty good there. No reason for him
great.
to hurry it, right?
Nothing's obstructing his view or anything.
He throws off his back foot. I went back and looked at a bunch of throws that he made. He throws off his back foot at times, goes arm. I think that's natural for quarterbacks. They got to get rid of it quickly. But let's go to the next one. There you go. So what do you see? Anything?
Well, I would have liked the ball to be gone about a 10th second before this play.
Okay.
As soon as he gets set up, the ball should be gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, the ball's gone. Now you're throwing it in rhythm. Right here he's aiming it because he's trying to get it over Sean Lee and between 31 and the opposite safety. So he's aiming it, and it just kind of airmails.
Instead of what they call throwing a guy open.
Yes, that's exactly right. You let it go when the guys, as soon as you see Cobb make his move, you plant your foot in the ground, you throw it.
Let's go back to the board. So that would have been probably when Cobb was making this move.
The ball should be gone.
Right about here, and then let him run and go
Yep, he'd have ran in, touched it, untouched. The cornerback was out there, the safety's over here. Sometimes you throw it in there real low so you can dig it out so he can protect himself if this safety hangs back.
Right.
But that would be Janice's fault. But if this guy goes over, here, trying to be nosy, now Janice is wide open.
Right. So that's a pretty good, pretty nicely designed play.
It is. It really is.
Here, and maybe here.
And if all fails, you go to your check down.
Yeah.
Montgomery, and it was 2nd and 10. You can get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, and you can try another guy.
Yeah. So interesting that he just airmailed it.
Yeah, and that's the one I bet you he wants back because he's been hitting this play for 7, 8 years straight
Yeah, yeah.
with his eyes closed.
Yeah. Very
But now,
popular.
I talked to some older quarterbacks, but he's not old. People say he's been around for 11 or 12 years. Remember, 3 years he sat behind Brett.
Yeah.
So he's not that old. He's a young 31 or 32, but sometimes you start to aim it instead of throwing it.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we're going to look at something Rodgers will definitely see from the Chicago Bears.
Oh, no question.
So one thing that the Packers have seen a lot of, and we'll see again, is this zone defense with 4-man rush and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys dropping in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was, I believe they're down at about the 10-yard line.
It was on the goal line. It was in
It's
the
third
red
and
zone.
goal, yeah, in the red zone. So what we're going to see here is probably a pretty nice design by Jacksonville. This is the Jacksonville game on Sunday. And I'll just kind of start the process, and then you can finish it off. So what we have is sort of a combination route. Guy runs up here. This is a clear out route, clear out route. Okay, and then this guy's going to come through, and so they're occupying. Now, the reason we're kind of looking at this is because this is so similar to what we've been seeing is just playing either zone or man under, which would be these guys playing man and cover 2 on top. So
and most offenses run these routes, Tom, because they think the defense is going to be a man-to-man.
Yeah.
So the defensive coordinators are saying, okay, well, if you think I'm going to be a man, I'm going to play a soft zone, and we'll just play coverage, and the chances of getting a big play, or you throwing it, we can come up and tackle you, or we may get an interception. You never know.
So this wound up being an open receiver over here. You can show that in a second, but what do you like about the design of this play? Anything?
I like it. You got 4 guys rushing on defense, and you got everybody with their chest to the ball.
Okay.
Nobody with their, like where they in any way can't help if it's a scramble, or if you have a guy go out. In other words, we should say one guy out, one guy's coming in. But the set of it will make you think they could either run a draw, the quarterback draw, or something like that. They're trying to spread us out. That would be the first thing I would tell Eugene Robinson. They're trying to spread us out. So don't get too wide. But what happens is, Jacksonville, their top receiver, Robinson, he comes underneath here, but the quarterback, for some reason, is not looking at him initially.
Okay, let's take a look at the first.
So look at the picture. So that's the setup right there.
Right, and Robinson's down there.
He's down at the bottom.
Okay.
So that's to go to the next picture, Bill. Now that's where you see Robinson at the bottom, and he's about to be open. Now you got a lot of things going on there.
Look at all those defenders. Just
everybody's at the 1 or the goal line.
That's hard to penetrate if you're throwing.
Keep everything in front of you.
Right.
And then you still got 4 guys rushing.
Okay.
You tell the 2 inside guys, rushers, don't get too wide, because if you open it up too wide, for the most part, most quarterbacks can just walk in the end zone.
Okay, so back to the board.
Yeah, so once you look for your matchup, and Blake Bortles looks over here, but for some reason he didn't like Robinson, and he came back. And then all of a sudden, he didn't see anything. I thought he was going to take off.
Let's take a look at that next shot now. So you're looking at that, and if you're a quarterback, now he's waiting for someone to get open there.
Yep.
I don't know. What?
And you got the back going to the left, and you got the center right there not blocking anybody.
And you got the back, or that's Robinson clearing out. I'm sorry, Hearns clearing out with that linebacker. Boy, you could just run right up the middle.
You could. Is that the last picture?
No, there's one more.
Yeah, go to the next picture. See, look at that.
Now he ends up throwing it.
He ends up throwing it, but
guy's open.
The guy's open, but the result is not very good.
Yeah, so he gets the coverage, he gets the guy right.
Comes all the way in.
Hits him, but it bounces off his hands.
As we just saw on the pitch, it's a big lane right there, Tom.
Yeah.
It's a big lane right there for you to throw or run. And that's what Chicago, and from the rest of this season, that's what they're going to give Aaron Rodgers. Right. They're going to drop everybody back on the goal line, and they're going to play coverage. And hopefully they can get a turnover.
Should he be looking to run more?
Absolutely. If you get this coverage a lot, what you do is you come back like you're going to throw, and then you take your tailback or your fullback, whoever's in, he becomes your lead blocker, and you lead up in there for a quarterback draw.
Yeah,
touchdown.
now they tried that on
Yes.
Sunday, and he fumbled.
Right.
So that didn't work. I'm just
it got to
saying
be
maybe
fluid, though. It got to be more fluid. It had too much going on.
Maybe he should just try to scramble more. If these guys are going to drop
He
deep
definitely should go back to scrambling. Because when the quarterback scramble, trust me, DBs love to do this.
Yeah.
They love to come up, and you just throw it right over the head.
Yeah. Okay, so that might be a way for him. But we can expect to see a lot of this zone coverage
Yes,
from the
they
Bears.
probably won't blitz at all. But every now and then they're going to play coverage.
Okay, great. Hope you enjoyed that. And we'll
I
be
enjoyed
back.
it.
Good. As long as you did, that's all that matters. We'll be back after the Bears game next week and looking ahead to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Bye.